is Chase Elliott, driver of the number 24 Napa Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. And Chase, you get some home cooking this week. You get you've done a lot of stuff throughout the community. Can you recap just the last couple days of the Chase U events, and then you had a great visit yesterday with your foundation?
We did, yeah. We're kind of launching our foundation this weekend, which is exciting and something new for myself and our entire team. So I think my mom deserves a lot of credit on that. She's been working really hard at our entire team has, but we had a good event at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta yesterday. We had for those of you who don't know, a shoe drawing contest that kind of includes some of the patients there at the hospital to design some shoes for myself and our three teammates, and Jimmy, Dale, and Casey are all going to wear shoes. I'm actually wearing mine for Sunday right now. So a young lady at the hospital drew these, and Alpine Stars was kind enough to actually make the exact copy of what they drew. So pretty exciting. We're going to auction them off. They're up for bid right now for the next 9 or 10 days on chaseelliott.com. So looking forward to that.
Awesome. We're going to open up the floor to questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We will get a wireless mic to you. We'll start right over there with my man in the blue.
Kyle Magda, theracingexperts.com. Chase, big weekend for you back in Georgia, but what I wanted to ask you was, are you looking forward to your broadcast debut tomorrow? Have you talked to any other drivers who have done it, any broadcasters? I mean, what are your thoughts going into that?
I'm excited. It's something that I've never done before, and I honestly didn't really see myself doing it or being asked to do it, so that was kind of cool. I thought Atlanta was a fitting place to give it a shot, so I'm excited about that. I have not talked to anybody about it really yet. We have a broadcast meeting in the morning at 7:30, which I'm kind of excited about, and I'm also kind of not excited about being at 7:30 in the morning, but I think after that we'll probably talk a little bit, maybe to Jeff. I think he's a great one to lean on, and he has a lot of experience, over the past year or so, and I'm not sure if he'll be in that meeting or not, but we'll see.
Trust me, those are fun. We'll go here to the right to Rick.
Rick Miller at AJC. Chase, take us back through the last few laps of the Daytona 500 and talk about your feelings afterwards, how disappointed you were, or were you? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it was had such a great car down there, and a great start to the week, a great Thursday night, and I felt like for us, absolutely sure, very disappointing. I mean, that was a devastating way to end a good week for sure. There's two things I think to look at, when you think about Daytona for us. We had to play the cards we were dealt. I felt like we played them to the best of our ability. I think that's something to be proud of. And B, we ran out of gas. Yes, we were leading, and it's easy to say, it was ours to lose. In reality, there was still 3 laps to go, and 3 laps at Daytona is a long time. So I think for us to sit back and think that we had it locked down is kind of foolish. So, for us, it's disappointing for sure, but there are some positives to take from the day. And again, we were faced with circumstances that we really couldn't control. And I feel like we played what we had the best we could, and some days that's all you can do.
We're going to go next to your left to Caleb, and then we're going to go back over to Mark, then to Woody, and then to Nate.
Caleb Whistler, Speedway Digest. With the new tire rule coming into effect this weekend, how are you going to approach qualifying to conserve your tires for the opening laps of Sunday's race?
I don't think anybody will. I mean, I think the big thing is just trying to hit your laps. Ideally you want to make 3 laps in qualifying. You want to try to get yourself into the top 24 and then the top 12 and then make a run at the pole. So I think if you mess up in a round, it's going to be really hard pressed to be able to run again and then have a realistic expectation of having a shot at the pole. So I think it's real important to hit it on that first try.
We're going to go to your right to Mark.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Chase, how would you describe your either comfort level or confidence level from this year to last year? Now you've sort of been there and done that.
Some things I guess we have. I'm sure there's a lot of, I know there's a lot of things that I haven't been faced with yet that you're going to see as time goes on. So, in some aspects, I feel comfortable. I feel better about some things that I've been faced with. Like I said, there's things I haven't seen yet. So, of those things that we have seen, I feel good about. I feel great about our team. I think we made some good changes over the off season. I feel like everybody's moving in a positive direction, and I feel like you know, I'm just kind of real proud and happy to be where I am. I think we're in a good position as a group, and I think all of our guys are working well together. And at this point in the season, that's kind of all you can ask for till you get started and kind of see what you're missing and where you need to go.
Okay, we're going to stay to your right, the Woody, and then we're going to come over to Nate.
Woody Kane with MRN. Chase, I know you've only done it for one race, and it was at a super speedway. But in terms of the stage racing here, how do your thoughts of that might play out at a place like Atlanta?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of curious myself to see. You know, I thought the complexion of the Daytona 500 was changed a little bit with the different strategies, and I think that's going to be a consistent thing throughout the entire year. Biggest thing I look at with Atlanta is tires are at such a premium here. You know, you run just a couple laps and you're going to want tires again, because that's going to allow you to move forward, and you're going to have, you know, tenths of a second, even half a second difference even just after a few laps on a set of tires. So, you know, I think with that, everybody's going to want tires all the time. So I think that's going to kind of make the strategy play a little more simplified than maybe it was at Daytona. But I do think the track surface is going to have a big factor in the stage racing as the year goes on, and what you can do on a set of tires, how long you can stay out, you know, and I think that'll change it a good bit.
Go next to Nate.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Chase, you don't need me to remind you that Sunday wasn't the first time you've come this close to victory, and the last time that happened was Chicago last year, and you were asked about it then. You said, that's life, it happens, you have to embrace it and move on. Do you still feel that way now after it gets away in the biggest race of the season, or is it a little bit harder to stomach in that instance?
No, I mean it's still kind of the same deal. I mean, it's disappointing, and you know, you learn through this stuff, and you just try to think about what you could have done differently. You know, at Chicago, faced with a caution there at the end of the race, I don't really know what we could have done about that. You know, and I really don't know what you do about running out of gas with just a couple laps to go either. So, you know, in both of those cases, I felt like from a performance side, I thought we did a good job, and we were close, just not close enough. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that it really changes my complexion or outlook on how I view things. It's just, you know, another definitely a disappointing finish to a good day.
We're going to go here to the middle of the Thomas and then over here to Jim.
Chase with 11 Alive. How distracting is this week for you? A lot of friends, family, and this is kind of the home track. You get pulled in a lot of different directions this week?
You know, not really. I think our group does a pretty good job of trying to manage the different things that we have going on. You know, the cool thing about this weekend is, you know, we have our foundation stuff has really been the biggest thing of the week, and that's, you know, enjoyable, fun, and something that we've enjoyed doing and working through. So we're going to have those families here at the racetrack on Sunday, and I mean, that's really the biggest thing for us. So no, I think it's you know, it feels pretty normal from a how busy you are standpoint.
Jim?
Jim Utter, motorsport.com. I'm not sure how you can answer this question. First of all, what was your awareness of the fuel situation as the 500 went down?
Well, they said we were going to be really close, and that we were basically right there, if not a little short, and really the situation we were in, you know, leading the race, we didn't talk about falling back to try to draft, because we all know as soon as I do that, the caution comes out, and then everybody makes it from there. So I knew it was really close, and I knew just from the lap that we pitted, without them telling me, I knew it was a long ways on gas for everybody. And you know, obviously once it sputtered, I really knew that we were close. So I was the first one to know for sure.
So given that, were you more disappointed of the fact that you had such a great handling car and weren't able to capitalize on it, or because of the fuel situation?
I guess a little bit of both. I think they kind of come hand in hand. I mean, we had a great car for sure, and the day went pretty well for us, being able to lead some laps and kind of be able to push some lanes forward. I thought our car had the ability to kind of be that guy and be able to push a lane and make something happen, which is what you always want, you know, at a speedway. We were fortunate enough to stay out of some of the wrecks. So really, I think the biggest disappointment is it was just you know, we were able to survive all the way to the end, and that's a hard thing to do in itself. And you don't see a whole lot of super speedway races come down to fuel mileage. So I think that was a big thing. Is just it's so hard to survive that race and just to make it to the end. You know, we saw a lot of tore up cars, and we were fortunate enough to get there. And I think that's the biggest thing is we made it to the end. It's just not in the right manner.
Go next to Thomas.
Chase, you grew up here on this track. What are your thoughts about resurfacing? And then the two-part question: are you sharing your tips and tricks for this track with any of your other teammates?
Well, no, I hope they're sharing their tips and tricks with me. Jimmy, he's won a lot of races here. I think Dale finished second last year, so they've had a lot more success here than I have for sure. As far as the repave goes, I think my only thing there is I'm really going to enjoy this weekend. I'm excited to run the truck race and the cup race on the old surface.
We're going to go to your left to Chris.
Chris Knight, catchfence.com. Chase, I was just wondering if you could talk about your decision to run the truck race and how many races you might run with GMS this year.
Yeah, it was something those guys approached me about, I guess about a month or so ago, and asked me if I have interest in running here, and I said absolutely. I thought it'd be fun. It really was. There was no more thought put into it than that. It was a phone call. I got a phone call from Mike Beam and asked me if I would be interested. I said yes, and we started working it out. So it was really kind of a no-brainer for me. I think they're a team that's doing a lot of things, I think, in the right direction. They seem to be building their program the right way. It's you know, and I've known some of those guys over there for a long time. You know, Mike, you used to work at Dad's shop back when he did his own deal in Dawsonville and whatnot. So from that side, it's pretty cool. And you know, once I got it okayed from all the folks at HMS, it was straightforward. I'd be open to it for sure. I mean, obviously we'll see how this weekend goes, and if they want to have me back or not, I'm not sure. But we haven't really talked about any other races. I've expressed interest in doing some other races. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. So we'll see. Yeah, I hope we can have a good run for those guys. We'll have I think Elliott on board and Napa on the truck this weekend too. So hopefully we can just have a good run for them, and maybe that'll offer some more opportunities to do it again in the future with them.
Go back to your right to Rick.
Rick Minner again. Chase, I don't have the exact numbers, but your dad ran second a lot of times before he ever won his first cup race. I wondered if that subject's ever come up in y'all's conversations, and does that help you kind of put in perspective where you are right now with your career? And
yeah, he's brought that up, a couple times. He said, he's mentioned that, and it's one of those things where it's crazy. Obviously that was back in the 80s, and things were a lot different, but it just kind of goes to show you, if it's not your day, it's not your day. As well as they ran, for him to to not have a win until he did there at Riverside. So like I said, I guess whenever it's meant to be our day, it will be, and hopefully that day comes.
Chase, before you leave, this weekend, teams are paying tribute to the late Wendell Scott, NASCAR Hall of Famer, commemorating his first start 56 years ago. How cool is that to be able to pay tribute to a guy like Wendell Scott?
Oh, for sure. Wendell, talk about a guy who earned it the hard way. I mean, I don't think you could find a guy. I've heard some stories about him over the years of working on his own cars, hauling stuff to the racetrack with just nothing. And I have a lot of respect for that. That's something that hard work ethic is something that should be valued, and I think he definitely was the definition for sure.
Good deal. Well, thanks for taking the time to join us this morning. Good luck this weekend.
All right, thank you.
Take care now.